Okay, so in order to construct a line segment congruent to the given line segment, what we first need to do is take a straight edge and draw any length of a ray. We'll label this point, point A. Next, we're going to use our compass, and we are going to set the opening of our compass equal to the length of the segment given above. Take that same distance, don't move your compass, and we're going to make a mark. The point where our arc and our ray intersect, we'll call that point B, and we now have segment AB being congruent to the segment given above. Okay, so if you look at number 2 in the packet, the constructions packet, same instructions. We're going to construct a congruent line segment to the above segment. We're going to draw, using our straight edge, a segment or a ray that is about the same length or longer than the one above. We are then going to take our compass open our compass so that it's equal to the distance of the segment given above. Don't adjust the opening. Put the point on our given endpoint that we just labeled A, and we are going to draw an arc right through that segment that we drew with our straight edge, the point of intersection of the arc and the line segment. We'll just call that point B, and we now have segment AB being congruent to the segment given above. Alright, so in number 3 we are going to construct the perpendicular bisector of the given segment. Perpendicular meaning that it will intersect our segment at 90-degree angles, and bisector means that it's going to cut it in half. So with our compass, what we're going to do is put one point at the end point, and we're going to open it so that the distance is just a little bit over halfway past our segment. Doesn't have to be exact, you just want to make sure it's a little bit past the segment's midpoint. And we are going to draw an arc. Okay. Keeping the distance of your compass the same, so don't adjust your compass. Now move to the other endpoint and do the same thing. Construct an arc. Should have something similar to that. The points in which the two arcs intersect, we're going to mark. And with those 2 points, we're going to take our straight edge and draw a segment through those 2 points, giving us the perpendicular bisector of the segment. Okay, number 4, same directions as number 3. In order to construct the perpendicular bisector, what we're going to do is just kind of gauge about where the midpoint of this segment is, and we're going to take our compass, putting one end at the end point, opening it just over halfway, and make a big arc. Make sure my arc goes all the way through. Don't adjust your compass. Move to the other endpoint and make another arc. The point at which those two arcs intersect we're going to use our straight edge draw a segment through those 2 points, giving us the perpendicular bisector. It meets that given segment at a 90-degree angle, also cuts it in half. Alright, so number 5. We need to construct an angle that is congruent to the given angle. It doesn't need to look exactly like it, set up the same way. I mean, it could be upside down, it could be flipped left to right. We just need to make sure that the angle measure is congruent to the given angle measure. So what we're going to do first is just take a straight edge, and draw a segment. That segment will act as one of the sides of our angle. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take our compass, putting the point at the vertex of the angle, just like that, and we're going to draw an arc through the angle. Okay, doesn't have to be that exact distance. It could be a shorter distance with your compass. It could be bigger. As long as your arc goes through both sides of the angle, you're fine. Don't adjust the opening of your compass. Keep that opening the same as the opening that you use for the arc above. And do the same thing down below on the segment you used your straight edge to create. And make another arc, so just like that. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to take a look at the arc that we drew and adjust the opening of our compass so that is equal to the distance where our arc intersects the sides of our angle. So with my arc, there's about how far I'm going to set my compass. I'm going to keep that opening. Don't adjust your compass. I'm going to put the point at the intersection of our arc and our segment. I'm going to use the compass, and I'm going to draw an arc so that it crosses or intersects our previous arc. The point in which those two arcs intersect, we're going to mark. Then we're going to use our straight edge, and we're going to construct the other side of our angle, making sure that it goes right through the point that we created. And now you have two angles that are congruent in measure. Okay, so in number 6, same thing. We're going to take our straight edge to create one of the sides of our angle. We'll make this our vertex of our new angle. Next, I'm going to take my compass and instead of trying to move my compass, I'm actually just going to turn my paper to get that arc that crosses through each side of the angle once. Without adjusting the opening of your compass, make that same arc. Take your compass back up to the figure above and adjust it so that the opening is, or one point of your compass, each point of the compass is at the opening. So our opening, adjust the compass so it's about right there. Intersecting point here, intersecting point here. Keep that opening the same. I'm going to put the point of my compass at the spot where my arc intersects the segment I drew with my straight edge. I'm going to make an arc. And you should find that the arcs intersect at one spot. Here's that it's right about here, so I'm just going to make a point. I'm going to take my straight edge now and connect the vertex with that point. And we now have two congruent angles. Alright, so in number 7 we're going to construct the bisector of the angle. So we're going to draw a segment or a ray that splits this angle into two equal halves. So our first step, you're going to put your compass at the vertex of the angle and you're going to draw an arc, making sure that it crosses each side of the angle. Next, adjust the opening of your compass so that it is equal to where the distance of where it crosses, where your arc crosses each side of the angle. So it's about right there. So from there, I'm going to swing an arc up this way. Okay, so I put the point here, swung my arc up this way. And now I'm going to do the exact same thing, put the point on the other side, and swing my compass to create another arc. Notice that those two arcs intersect. I'm going to mark that right there. Now I'm going to use my straight edge to draw a ray that connects from the vertex to that point. Notice how that appears to cut our original angle into two equal pieces, two equal angles. For number 8, again, we're going to construct the angle bisector. So I'm going to put the point of my compass at the vertex and draw an arc, making sure that it crosses my angle, the sides of my angle, one time. So I have intersection right there and right there. Next, I'm going to adjust the opening of my compass so that it is equal to the distance of those two intersecting points. From there, I'm just going to swing an arc up this way. I'm going to go to the other side and do the same exact thing without adjusting the opening of my compass. Here is where those two arcs intersect. Just mark it. So for my vertex, I'm going to use my straight edge and connect. So in number 11, we need to construct a line segment that's perpendicular to the segment given through the point given. So what we want to do is use our compass and draw a line that goes right through this point, but it has to be perpendicular to this line. So what we're going to do is place the tip of the compass at the point given and open our compass and draw an arc, making sure it crosses the segment given twice. So something like that. Without adjusting the opening. So don't move your compass, keep it the same. We're going to put the point, we're going to go to each of those intersecting points and draw a little arc. Go to the other side. Where those two arcs intersect, I'm going to mark it, and then I'm going to connect these 2 points using my straight edge. And we have a segment that appears to be perpendicular to the segment given and also passes through the point given. So we have the same directions in number 12. And if you need to, it's not a big deal if you just take your straight edge. You can even extend this line out if you feel like you need a little bit more room here. So I'm going to take the tip of my compass, put it on the point that we need the line to go through, adjust my compass so that when I draw an arc, the arc crosses our segment at 2 points. Without adjusting the opening of our compass, I'm going to put the tip of our compass at each of the intersecting points. Take it out. Move to the other side, point of intersection. Mark where they intersect, and now draw a segment that connects those 2 points. And we now have a line segment that is perpendicular to the given segment and also goes through the point given. Okay, so the last type of construction in the construction packet is constructing a line through the given point parallel to the given line segment. So what we're looking to do is we've been given this line right here, this line segment. We want to draw or construct a line segment that is parallel to this one but also goes through this point. It'd be really easy if we could just use a straight edge and draw a line that looks parallel to the given segment, but remember in geometry you can't assume anything. So the goal here is, if you remember anything about parallel lines, you know that corresponding angles, if they're congruent, then the lines are parallel. So what we're going to do is create a pair of corresponding angles that are congruent, and the result should be two lines that are parallel. So my first step, I'm just going to go ahead and label, draw in 2 points. I'm just going to say this is point A. We'll call this point B, and we'll say that this is C. I'm going to take my straight edge and draw line through points A and C. And notice that we have an angle right here, with A being the vertex. So we still need the line segment to go through C. This angle right here, CAB, we want that angle to be the congruent corresponding angle up here, and that will result in parallel lines. So ultimately we're just going back to copying an angle, constructing congruent angles. So what we're going to do is we are going to take our compass and draw an arc, just like that, keeping the same compass setting. I'm going to take my compass up to point C and do the same thing, make that arc. So now if you recall how to construct congruent angles, we're going to set the compass so that the ends are at the intersection of the sides of the angle. So that's about the width of our compass for this one. And now I'm going to take the tip of my compass and put it on this spot where the arc intersects the side of the angle up here, and I'm going to make an arc. And we see that the two arcs intersect right here. I'm just going to draw in a point. Let's see what happens when we connect point C and our new point. And we have parallel lines. Okay, last one. Constructing another parallel line through a point, making sure that that line that we construct is parallel to the given line. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and label a couple points on the given segment. I'll call this one D. We'll put one over here. We'll call it E. And we'll call this one that's given point F. And you can choose whatever letters you want. X, Y, Z, whatever. So first step is to basically make the transversal. So that's what you're doing when you're connecting these 2 points, is creating a transversal that's going to go through our parallel lines. So now we have an angle that we're going to copy. Keeping that same setting, don't adjust your compass at all. I'm going to move my point up to the point F up here and make that same arc. Making sure that it intersects this line. Now we're going to adjust the compass to the width of these 2 points. the distance that these 2 points are from each other. So right there. Keep that same setting. Go to the point where your arc intersects up here and make the mark right there. There's your intersection of your 2 arcs. Taking your straight edge, you're going to connect that intersecting point with point F. Giving you 2 parallel lines. So we've just finished constructing a parallel line through a point given the line segment shown below.